Everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Might Delete Later podcast. You know, I'm one of your hosts. My name is Derrick, and I got a special guest today. I got a really special guest today. This is one of those people where you guys know I'm in the film industry. And so whenever we have a fellow person in the film industry, that I'm excited about it because, you know, we speak the same language. Mm-hmm. So I have actor, producer, gosh, what else?
I love that of everything.
Everything. She does everything. A script supervisor.
Casting. Coaching.
I have Miranda Forcier
Yes.
in the house. And how are you doing?
Thank you so much, Derrick, for having me. I'm doing so well. You're catching me at a great time. I just came off of 2 projects back to back, and I'm about to go into another one in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So life has been great.
Now, I'm going to get right into, I know you were in Sacramento, and then you moved to Los Angeles to, you know, get into your business and do all your things. People that like to say, I'm an actor, I'm going to go to Los Angeles, everything's going to be great. I'm going to get there and I'm going to have all these jobs.
Right.
And there's going to be all these things waiting for me when I get there. Tell me the truth.
Hey, man, I love the optimistic perspectives and mindset, okay? Like, absolutely, that is the goal.
Yes.
But you also need to make sure you're pairing your dream state with your realistic state, right? Mm-hmm. The film industry is just like every other industry. You're going to have to grind. It's going to take time. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get excited about opportunities, and then nothing's going to come. And it's a very high highs, low lows type of industry to be in. But you have to start from the bottom, and it's all about who you know, let me tell you.
Yeah.
You're going up against any role in film, whether it's in front or behind the camera, you're going up against hundreds, if not thousands of other people trying to land the same job you're applying for. So knowing somebody in the industry is always the kind of fast track way to get in and get notified and get booked on jobs quicker, which means networking is essential, getting out there, doing classes, meeting people, showing people who you are, and also having a good social media presence. That's another way that people can kind of fast track the system a bit. But no, LA is not the only market for film industry too, right? Yeah. And you know, Sacramento is quickly becoming the next LA. They're actually calling us North Hollywood, essentially.
North Hollywood. I didn't hear that.
Yes. So there's a lot of film that's coming to Sacramento. We have great locations. It's cheaper to shoot here. We have great talent and casting up here. So it definitely behooves of a lot of production to shoot in Sacramento, but it's also not just Sacramento. Atlanta, Georgia's blowing up. Chicago's blowing up. Texas is blowing up. I just worked with a crew that most of them live in Arizona, you know. So, and the beautiful thing about getting in the film industry now is you don't have to go in for auditions or interviews. Everything is done via Zoom or self-tape auditions, right? So, you know, if you're good enough, you can live anywhere and still work in the film industry.
Now, did that happen during COVID? Is that kind of where that kind of really took off?
Definitely shifted everything.
Okay.
But self-tape started, I would say, about 10 years ago is when that, you know, it's been, probably a decade since I've had to go into an audition.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's better for everybody. The talent, the production, right? Because you have to rent a space and you have to make sure your whole team can be there. Like, it can be, you know, a bit more challenging. So, but yes, with the COVID, that definitely made everything for sure. We're doing it all online.
Yeah. So now, how did you get started? I know that your mom is was a producer, or she has
casting director and producer.
When did you get started, and what got you into the film industry?
Yeah. My mom is incredible. Her name is Sally Forcier. She is a casting director and producer here in Sacramento. She's actually the only casting director in Sacramento. And we can get into what the difference is between casting directors, talent agents, and casting networks, because those are all very different. But she started working at a talent agency that's still here in Sacramento today. got in trouble for trying to help new talent, like educating them on the process, because you don't get an agent right away. That's something that comes later. And so because of that, she ended up starting her own business of consulting new talents and educating them on how to get into the industry. And then that grew into somebody asking her if she knew any talent who would love to do free background work. And then she became a casting director, and then the producer thing started a few more years after that. And she started her business when I was 9 years old in the year 2000. And my mom's a single mom. I'm an only child, so of course I was put to work. But she immediately put me in front of the camera. So I started acting as a kid. I did a lot of things growing up. I did enough work to be able to buy my first car, essentially. And then as soon as I was old enough to use a computer, she had me helping her with her castings.
Wow. So you learned at an early age how to do all of this.
Yes. This is pretty much all I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you've basically been on every side of it. You've been acting, because I have seen that you are a star of the lead of a series, and it is called So You Had a Bad Day. Yes.
You Had a Bad Day.
You Had a Bad Day series. I did see that.
And we only did the pilot, right?
Okay.
We're still trying to get it picked up, and that's another thing we can definitely talk about today is what it takes to get something to be nationwide, right?
Yeah.
To get seen, because that is definitely a process, and most things take 5-10 years to even, get out or even become popular, right? So that's a whole nother expectation you need to adjust.
One other thing I wanted to talk about early on, because I was speaking to a cousin of mine. I've talked about my cousin on here a bunch on the podcast. We were talking about Bella Ramsey. We were talking about Bella Ramsey, and they showed her her net worth. And it wasn't that much. And so he's like, she's rich. She's an actor. I said, So tell us actually how it is, the amount of actors that are actually rich as opposed to ones that are just working a regular job.
Right. No, I mean, it's pretty common. If you are wanting to be an actor, you need to have a good, flexible day job. And you're most likely going to have that life for a few years. But so much of this industry is luck and timing. It really is. So the majority of circumstances is that it takes several years, sometimes a decade, for you to finally get to a place where you can quit your day job and solely act. But there's a lot of steps that need to be taken. I always recommend new actors to get, if they have a good resume and they have experience and they are at the level where they can have an agent. Because an agent's not going to take you on unless you have experience. Because the only way agents get paid is if you get paid.
If you get jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but once you get to that point, get an agent in every market. So you have the majority of opportunities to get
What do you mean by that? An agent in every market?
So an agent in Sacramento, an agent in LA, an agent in San Francisco, Texas, all across the country, essentially, so that you're made aware of more auditions. Okay,
so I thought that you get one agent, and that one agent is
it?
Yeah.
Now, there are some agencies, it's all in the contract.
Okay.
So you got to make sure you read that. Some agents do have a clause saying you cannot have representation out within a certain radius, and it's usually market. And if you are at this level that I'm explaining right now, you don't want an agent who's going to be like, no, it's me and only me, because you're cutting yourself short. And I also wanted to add another thing I always recommend new actors is to also start learning all the other roles on set, right? Get a PA job, try to be a crew member so you can understand how all of these pieces fit together. And then that also opens more opportunity for you to get work as a crew so that you are getting more jobs and you're not only trying to get acting jobs, because those are not going to come that often.
Yeah.
I mean, if every 80 out of 80 auditions that you send in, you might only book 10. Right? So if you also have skills in other areas of production, then you're going to have more opportunities for paid work and more opportunities to meet people. And they're going to hear that you're also an actor, and they're going to like your look, and then they're going to remember you, for the next project, right?
Yeah. I know. I took a couple of screenwriting classes, and I've directed a couple of things. And the advice I got, I forgot who gave it to me, was if I'm a writer and I'm a director, they said learn the actor side of it.
Exactly.
Learn the actor side of
Yes.
it because it'll help you with your writing. It'll help you with your directing.
Amen.
As long as when you learn that. So as you were saying, learn different sides of it, and it'll kind of help with everything.
Well, if you want a successful production, which let's be honest, it is a 1 in a million chance that your production is going to be successful and get noticed, right? So if you want to make sure you have the best foot forward and best opportunity, especially, directors and writers, like what you were just saying, are essential to also have experience in front of the camera so that they can communicate their ideas to their actors. Otherwise, the actor is lost and your production is crap. Am I allowed to cuss on here?
You can say whatever you want to say. We've said some heinous things on here.
Okay. Well, nothing I say is offensive or mean. It's just to emphasize. Your project can be shit. And but every other aspect could have been perfect. And if that communication is off between the director or the writer isn't able to be clear on what the story is, it's going to trickle. It's a trickling effect, right? I mean, every role on a film set is a piece of the puzzle. And if one piece is not there, the whole puzzle is shit. There you go.
Yeah. A couple of things. Just yesterday, Scorsese came out talking about AI. Apparently, he's got stake in an AI company. So he said he's going to start using AI for a lot of pre-production.
Oh, yes.
Going forward.
I love that.
Martin Scorsese said he's going to start using AI for pre-production.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the AI? I'm talking about as a whole because there's some actors. I think it was, I can't think of the actor. Oh, God. Darth Vader. Yes. So he passed away.
Yes.
His family already cut a deal that says, his likeness, his voice, you are going to play us for that going forward. I think a lot of actors now are probably going to be cutting deals like that.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like you don't even have to show up to set. You don't have to deal with the set chaos. You don't have to wake up early and work these long days. Like, I mean, yeah, as long as I'm getting a percentage like I would if I was actually showing up on set.
Yeah.
I don't really think, it matters too much.
Okay.
And there's several actors who have passed. Like I know Val Kilmer is also
I saw an AI thing
doing
that someone did of him as well. Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, shoot, if I would love it if someone kept using my image after I passed, so I could continue to, tell stories and live on forever. But
you would want to be compensated, or your family be compensated for that. Yeah,
absolutely.
No, let it fly. We want to hear all how crazy you curse. We want to hear it. But no, again, a lot of people now are going to start cutting those deals, and some people that haven't, but they're still being used in AI. And I think that's the part that's a problem.
Absolutely.
When they're doing it without, it's like, we're just going to use someone that died, Whitney Houston. We're going to put Whitney Houston in this.
Right. No. I mean, just like life, everything comes with pros and cons, right? Everything can be taken too far. I definitely think our society, especially the last, 6 to 10 years, we are kind of doing this pendulum thing in a lot of different areas of our society, right? Politics, social media, sexuality, right? And it's actually a beautiful thing because that means we're growing and we're trying to figure it out. And just like in your own personal life, every time you've tried something new, you might have gone too far or the other, and then later in life you adjusted, how you go about those. So it's the same thing. I try not to stress too much about how everything is going in our world because I know that it will level out, and I just have to keep on my path and keep being the example and only surround myself with like-minded people. But going back to the AI thing, it's very, very helpful. I mean, I was on set yesterday, for example, and we were doing a drone shot, and there was windows that the drone was flying up to, which you could see a lot of reflection. And we had crew members hiding behind pillars, so the drone didn't see us. But I know, like, I was one of them, and I'm looking in the windows, and I feel like the drone and I were like locked eyes, and I'm thinking, can it see me in the reflection? And when I went to the director, I told him, I go, how are the reflections looking?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'll take that out in post with AI. Right. So it's things like that it's very, very useful, very helpful. And circling back to the pre-production, that is the most important part of the whole production phase and cycle.
Tell us why.
Because that is all the planning, right? I mean, let's just say you want to be a doctor and you go straight to a hospital and put on a lab coat and you just jump straight into the actual job. You're not prepared. You have no idea what you're going into. You're going to mess up. Same thing with films. You need to be prepared. You need to lock down, your crew. Take time to vet your crew, vet your talent, set up a production layout. Like, how is this production going to work and flow, and how are we all going to work together cohesively without any misunderstandings, right? And the problem with a lot of productions is that requires time, which then requires money. Most productions are only worried about raising funds for the production itself, but that's not everything. If you don't have the time to, or be organized and make sure there's a lot of moving pieces on a film set, and if even one is off, like we said, that missing piece, the whole thing's going to crumble. But it is very common to see short films, for example, maybe a month or two of pre-production. Feature film, they are probably in pre-production for 6 months.
6 months.
And then the production's 30 days, and then it's usually about a year to 2 years of post-production, and that's kind of the cycle of that, and then just condense it for the amount of time. But like, for example, the You Had a Bad Day series, knowing all of this and seeing all of the mistakes that have been made on sets that I've been on, I wanted to go about this totally different. I'm asking people, so we just did the pilot, like I had mentioned. I'm asking people to dedicate their time, energy, and their own money without getting paid, right? And so knowing that, I made sure our pre-production period we had three months to make sure that everybody was on the same page, and that I staffed up each department enough in case, and knowing we were going to lose people along the way, right? Because if they get a paid job, yes, please go do that. Like, don't let me hold you back, but we have other people to fill in for you if you do leave. And it ended up being a huge success. We shot a 45-minute TV pilot in 6 days, which is not normal. But it was a success because of all of the pre-planning. There was a ton. I got a lot of people that were like annoyed with how much, how many meetings I wanted, but proof is in the pudding, let me tell you. Yeah.
I want to go deeper into the budgets. Because there's a lot of people out here that say, I have a camera at home. I think I can write a short script, and I have some friends, and we can make a movie.
Yep.
Go deeper into budgets and actually how many things are involved with actually saying, I'm going to go out on the street and I'm going to shoot, and then we're not going to get any permits. We're just going to do this.
It's called guerrilla style, guerrilla shooting.
When they start coming, they say, wrap it up, everybody run.
Yeah, flee. When the police shows up, run. Yes, that's a great question. Now, what I'm going to share, is the majority of circumstances. Again, like I said, so much of this industry is luck and timing. There's tons of projects that have been very popular, very widely known, that had a very ultra low budget, right?
Yeah.
So it is still possible. I know a lot of productions that just use an iPhone to film too, and they look amazing. Yeah. So you never know. However,
that's not the norm.
Yes. The only way those types of productions are successful is if you have very low locations and low cast. It's a very simple storyline, simple shooting schedule. The more complex your storyline is, the more locations you have, the more talent you have, that's where the money really comes into play, because you do need to get permits. You don't want to take a risk of the film commissioner coming by and writing you a fine and a ticket, right? And also, just like anything in life, the more money you put into something, the better the quality is going to be as well, too.
Yeah.
But you need permits, locations, you need insurance. Audio, lights, and camera, all those departments are going to, and hair and makeup, are all going to require a rental kit fee. So to use their equipment for your production in case it gets damaged. You need insurance in case you break something on one of the locations. If
someone
gets
has
hurt.
a stunt and they
right.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the room.
Can't just leave them there.
The room we're in right now. Look at all the wires and everything. You guys can't see.
You guys can't see,
but it requires a lot of wires and a lot of. I mean, somebody got injured yesterday on the set because we were cleaning up and someone wasn't looking where they were walked right into one of these points, is what we call them. But anyways, there's that. You also need to provide food for your crew and your cast every 6 hours. They need to have a meal and they need snacks to get through the day. So craft services requires a budget. Production design, which is creating the world essentially, like, you know, all the little knickknacks and making the set look good. They need a budget to buy all that stuff. But again, you could, if your storyline...
Unless you're in the back rooms. If you're in the back rooms,
so see,
we're here now. Like, this could be the back rooms.
Right, right. And that's why
Which is low budget.
It was so successful.
Yeah,
it was simple and easily executed.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, there is a lot that goes into it. So raising money is essential.
Yeah.
You know, I always recommend any production to start a crowdfunding campaign to raise money and for the whole, 3 phases of production. I recently have been getting job offers to help plan premiere events as another way to raise money. So this is after production's done, most likely already went over budget. And so a premiere is a way for you to start launching your product and also get some extra donations at the end of that as well.
I want to get into agents, even for directors and writers and things like that, and actors, getting into agents. There's people that say, "Hey, I'm super talented.
I can do this.
I'm going to write a script, and then I'm going to go ahead and send it in." Oh, the story I was going to tell you about. Let me tell you about the story. Let me talk about myself for a second. So, I used to be a photographer. That's where I started doing photography. Then I went over to film, behind the camera.
Right.
So there's an event that's in Los Angeles every year called the Merge Summit. So this is where people can buy tickets to basically have lunch and sit around with actual famous celebrities.
Very cool.
So I got hired to be the photographer there. I got hired to be the photographer. So I get to follow around all of the celebrities. There were some celebrities that weren't very nice. There were some, and oh man, and I would name names too. I would name names, but I don't want to get I don't want to get in trouble. But one of the people I got to follow around was Tyrese. He's not as tall as I thought he was, so I got to follow him around. But he was cool.
Good.
Niecy Nash was great.
Oh, God.
Oh my God! Like we still kind of communicate. So she was great. Tia Mowry, I got to follow her around.
Oh my gosh, sister.
Yeah, she was really great too.
Yes.
That's the extent of the great people. That's the extent
that's great.
of the great people.
Yeah.
But I got to sit down with at the time she was the head of Nickelodeon. So now knowing what I know, Paramount was in charge of Nickelodeon, and now I know all of that. But this person was the head of Nickelodeon, and this was a Thursday, and I'm like, look at all these people that aren't at 9-to-5 jobs.
I know.
So I'm taking pictures, and I'm doing all of this stuff, and then I got to sit down with her. I said, I have an idea for a TV show. I have an idea for a TV show. And I just sat down talking to her. I was saying hi to everyone and all this. I got to sit with her.
Shoot your shot when you can, man.
I did. I absolutely did. And I told her I have an idea for a TV show. I told her kind of what I was thinking. And she said, that sounds good. Write a script, send it in to me. Then she said, make sure the script is formatted properly.
Oh, yes.
She said, because I see hundreds of scripts a day. If you send this in to me and it's not proper, I'm going to put it in my trash. Yeah. And you will never have an opportunity with me again.
Same goes for self-tape auditions. Let me tell you, if you don't have the right setup for that, the casting director will immediately turn it off. So
wow.
Yeah.
And at that point, I hadn't taken any film school. That time I was just a photographer.
Yeah.
And I said, oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I went into film school, and 5 years for me to figure out,
Wow.
okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact that that's what it is, it was like knocked me upside the head that, okay, they're not playing.
Oh, no. I mean, this circles back to what I was saying earlier. There are hundreds of people submitting for any role on film sets just like you.
Wow.
So it's so essential that you stand out and that they remember you, right?
Yeah,
so we always say in casting, when you're doing a self-tape, to, try to be different in whatever way that means, right? Off the top of my head, some of the self-tapes that I have seen over the years that I still remember to this day are actors who gave me 3 different versions of the scene. And even though I didn't ask for that, I still really appreciated the extra effort.
They showed some range.
They showed range. They showed that they were proactive and they were open-minded and they're creative. Because, I mean, just like any industry, you're only going to get hired if people want to work with you.
Yeah.
Even if you're not qualified. If you're just showing up as a team player and you're showing initiative, that's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah.
Because the most talented people could be the biggest assholes, right? And
tell me about it.
so, I know at least in Sacramento, that we care more about who you are as a person and if you are a creative mindset. That means I feel confident in hiring you and throwing anything at you and trusting that you're going to be receptive and at least try.
Yeah.
If you're not going to try, there's no way in hell I feel confident that I'm going to be able to give you direction and you're going to give me what I need. Yeah. Right? So the self-tape auditions aren't necessarily, is this person doing exactly what I am envisioning? That's not necessarily the case. A lot of times somebody will send in a self-tape and it's nothing what I had envisioned.
And they'll see something and they're like, wow.
Yeah, I never
like,
thought
wow.
of that.
Yeah.
Like, again, everything is a piece of the puzzle here, right?
Yeah.
And we don't know what we don't know, but we need each other to create something successful because we all have weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
And we all have different perspectives to offer, and that could stem the golden idea.
Yeah. Vertical series. Vertical series is starting to become the new hubbub around. And I know you shot one.
Yeah.
So get into vertical series a little bit and tell me about what they are. What's the purpose of them? What light bulb went off in someone's head that said, "Oh, vertical series"?
Honestly, I wish I had. It is a genius. As much as you might have seen, I rolled my eyes a little bit. I have my feelings about vertical series, but that is only, I'm going to preface, I come from a feature film side. I'm more of the professional type of sets, the higher up sets, right? There's tons of different types of production, commercials, print, all of that. And vertical series is taking over. And so the best way to describe it, and I know it's still somewhat a new idea here in Sacramento, but living in LA, that is almost
That's
every.
the thing, yeah.
My boyfriend is an actor as well, and he gets almost every audition he gets is a vertical series, and it drives him nuts too because he's like, I want to be emotional and make a difference and impact people, but that is the end goal. We need to still play the game to get there. But the best way to look at it is vertical series are soap operas in 2026, right? So if you think about soap operas, that was back in the day on a specific, channel, and was dedicated to people who love the overdramatic storylines, fantasies.
The good thing about those soap operas, a lot of people that are famous, super famous now,
right? They started
they
on
all
a soap
started
opera,
on
and that's
soap
what I'm
operas.
saying. We have to play the game, right?
They all started on soap operas. I remember I was watching something, and I was like, "Is that George Clooney?" I was like, George, what? Is that, what?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I know. No, I mean, we all have to start somewhere. And that's what I keep reminding him, my boyfriend as well. But so they are soap operas that are designed to watch on your phone, right? Vertical. And it is a blowing up industry because what else is on your phone? Ads. Ads are everywhere, right? You watch YouTube, there's ads. You watch any platform, there's always ads. And if you're watching something on your phone, you best believe there's going to be ads. And so tons of brands are wanting to invest in creating a series to watch on your phone just so they can product place, just so that they can get their brand out in a very sneaky way, right? Like the viewer doesn't even realize that they are being sold something. They're watching a dramatic, over the top story. And so anyways, a lot of people see it, especially now that we are a phone watching society.
Yeah, we're always on our phones. People won't put them down.
Right. So the difference is the dialogue is very cheesy, very corny, very extreme, and the episodes are very short.
Yes.
Right. So the one that I did a couple months ago, they filmed 60 episodes in 6 weeks at the same time as filming episodes for a live action choose your own adventure video game.
60 episodes in 6 weeks.
Right. And each episode was about 3 minutes, give or take.
Yeah.
I think some were a little bit shorter, but I don't think any of them are going to exceed 3 minutes, right? Because that's our attention span these days.
Yeah. And it reminds me of that streaming service that I told you about that got big during COVID.
Right.
Every episode was only 7 minutes, and it was on your phone. 7 minutes, that episode's over.
Right.
Episode 2, 7 minutes,
Right.
7 minutes, 7 minutes. So this seems like the vertical series seems like another faction of that.
It
It kind of seems like another faction of that.
It is that. It's just even now more condensed.
Yes.
Because the more episodes you have, the more sponsors you can have on each episode, right? And then the more money you make, and then et cetera.
Yes.
So
because that streaming service flamed out. Like I don't even remember the name at this point, but it flamed out just as soon as people started going back to work. So they were really
7 minutes
hot.
is too long.
Yeah.
When you have a smoke break at work, they aren't going to give you more than a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Right? And that's when people are going to watch this stuff.
And it sounds like to me someone said, you know what? 7 minutes might be a little bit too long. Let's do 3 minutes.
Exactly.
And it's taken off.
It has. It really has. I mean, it's a genre.
Yeah.
That's it, But I do see in the future that this is going to be the way to break into the industry is you have to do your fair share of vertical series. And that's mainly just because, one, it shows that you are a working actor. You have a lot of different ranges, but you're also working with a lot of new production companies who may think of you when they decide to do a feature film, right? So it's just another avenue. Whereas back in the day, it was commercials. You kind of start as a commercial actor, and then that leads you into the film, right? Or TV.
So what is the pay like for a vertical series? It's a 3 minute series. Are you paid more like during a commercial? Is that the kind of
No. Well, okay. So every production is different, but the majority of them, it's just like any other job, right? They offer you the role. They send you a deal memo, which is a contract stating what your role is, how much time you're going to be working, per diem, travel expenses, blah, blah, and then you have what's called a day rate. Now, non-union actors, that pay can range all over the place. If you are in the SAG union, it is a flat rate. And just recently, there have been vertical series that are now SAG productions. Usually, SAG productions are only feature films, right? The big stuff. But vertical series are blowing up so much that now they have SAG.
SAG said, let's get our actors in on this,
which is amazing because let me tell you, as a SAG actor, you're required to make a certain amount of money per year to qualify for health insurance.
Yeah,
and and there has been a season now, probably for the last, I would say last 2 or 3 years since all the strikes started happening, that there's fewer and fewer SAG productions. So more and more actors are forced to do non-union projects, even though that goes against the SAG requirements. If you're SAG, you are not allowed to do non-union. But actors are kind of forced to do that to survive, and so they have to go under a different name or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think now that the SAG has been recognizing actors are doing that, they are starting to make some changes, like offering SAG vertical series jobs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wanted to end on three more questions. I kind of wanted to end
That's
on.
it?
Yes, I mean,
I could be here forever.
We've been going a little while now.
Yeah.
We're going a little while, but I wanted to end on 3 more questions. I want to know, because you're giving all this information to people. It's very professional. It's buttoned up. And that's what they say, buttoned up. Tell us something about you that we don't know. Something about you personally. Something that that might help other actors out there. Something that you maybe struggled with when you got to Hollywood, or just in general.
Yeah.
That, because I'm sure a road for an actor or a producer or a writer or a casting director, I'm sure the road has a lot of bumps in it.
I mean, that's just life.
Yes,
That's
it
just
is.
life, man.
It is.
And usually when you are doing something that you love, that's when you're challenged the most, right? It's almost like the universe saying, are you sure you want to do this? Like, think about
knock
it.
you on the head.
It
Boom,
could be
stupid.
so
You
much,
didn't want to do this.
it could be so much easier to go this route, right?
Yeah.
The thing that I always recommend to people, and something that has helped me, is being more introspective, learning about myself. Okay, Miranda, why are you this way? Why do you do things like this? What brings you most joy? What are your priorities? Is it having stability financially and working a mundane job that I'm guaranteed money and benefits and I'm never super challenged? Or is it living a life of creativity and passion, but not having a lot of stability? Like, what brings you more joy? And everybody is different, right?
Yeah.
For me personally, I did the mundane thing. It was great, and I cry almost every month about not having a lot of money or being worried about where my paycheck is going to come from next. But I still rather suffer that way and live this life versus suffer every day not feeling challenged because, and having money. To me, the money, it's not worth it.
That's the life of an artist.
But that's just me.
That's the life of an artist.
That's the life of an artist.
Life of an artist.
Absolutely.
I mean, you just say, hey, fuck, I'm an artist.
Right. So you have to first figure out who you are, what type of person you are, and what you're willing to sacrifice,
Yeah.
Something about me is, I've had 3 near-death experiences in the last 10 years. The first one being suicide related. My uncle took his life in front of me, actually. And it was obviously very traumatic. But it's those moments that really push you and point you into the direction you're supposed to be in. And my life is for the better because I went through that. I've learned a lot about myself. I've got to help a lot of people with my story and showing perseverance and dedication and not letting that negative experience negatively impact me. Right?
How has those 3 near death experiences, how have they changed how you see the world?
Oh my gosh. Well, again, it's taught me to be a lot more introspective. I care a lot less about the world and what other people think, and just try to be the example because I can only control me. And I also have learned how to really love myself and build my self-worth so that I'm not just saying yes to everything and wasting my precious, valuable time helping somebody create their dream and they're not even that serious. So I try to make sure every opportunity that comes my way, I'm giving just as much as I'm receiving. And in this film industry, half of the people are just wannabes and half are really serious. So you have to be really good about stopping, not getting excited, stopping and looking within at yourself and make sure that this is what's right for you. Because it's luck and timing, and not everything is supposed to happen or last forever either. But, I'm not giving up. I'm 35 and I'm starting all over again. And I am terrified of how I'm going to, the rest of my life looks. But honestly, I've lived so many different lives now. I would choose this one still every time.
Every time.
Every time.
In every universe.
In every universe. You don't know how much time you have left. So you want to make sure you really enjoy and get the most out of every moment and do what feels right to your heart.
What is the thing that you saw when you were younger, whether it be movie, TV, the thing that you saw and said, wow, I want to do that?
This is probably not what you expect, but I never wanted this to be my career.
Oh, boy.
I didn't. I resisted so hard. My mom wanted
because you didn't want to follow your mom. You didn't want to do the same thing.
I'm an Aries, and I have to make my own way. And of course, my mom is being a mom, so I didn't truly believe her when she said I had talent or that I was beautiful. And of course, all the daddy issues play in there somewhere too. But it was hard for me to accept the fact that I could be something. All I knew at a young age was I wanted to help people, and I just didn't know what that meant. Like whether that's entertaining and making people feel happy when they're sad, or whether that's coaching, or whether that's I worked in the winter maintenance division for the transportation department for a few years, and in my mind, I was helping people drive safer on the roads. It's like I didn't know what that meant until my uncle died, and then that was when I was like, I want to help people with their mental and emotional health, and it's just when a door opens, that's when I walk through it, and the film world has opened up to me several times throughout my life. But because of my uncle's passing, I had to come back to Sacramento, which then allowed for me to work with my mom more. When the opportunities just start coming, I'm just going for it. I still don't exactly know what the future looks like, but I have a feeling I'm going to be involved in a lot of different aspects of film, whether that's helping market them, whether that's acting in them, whether that's planning events for them or interviewing, stuff like that. And I really strongly encourage everybody to not be so specific with what your end goal looks like. You have no idea what's coming.
Be open.
Be open to
know something that comes along.
Is. Know what the energy looks like, and and have that be your goal. And whatever the outside is with that energy, just be flexible with it. So many times in my life, I've had such a very specific goal and I've achieved it. And then something happened in my life that everything got ripped away and I had to start over. So now I'm just going to go with the flow, see what happens. But I still believe and focus on what my intention is. And that is to help people and,
whichever way that is.
Yeah, whatever way that is. And right now it's the film and I'm enjoying it. And I just moved to LA a couple months ago, so I'm still very new. And all of the work I've had recently has been in Sacramento, of course. But I'm excited. It's a new market, new opportunity to learn and fall and rise back up again.
What is the best advice you've received? Not just, it can be out of anything. It could be in the film industry. It could be just in life in general. What is the best advice that you've received? And what is the worst advice that you've ever received?
Oh, my gosh. I wish you'd asked me this sooner so I could think about it longer.
We can go on. We can go
I feel like I've kind of already said a few of them, which is just be open.
Okay.
Be open, put yourself out there, trust yourself, and know your worth. Know your worth. If you don't know you, nobody will ever know you, right? It's that whole, if you can't love yourself, no one else can kind of idea. You won't get to where you want to be if you don't know what's important to you. The worst advice is move to LA. No, but have a plan. I highly recommend everybody, just to end on this, get more feedback, get advice, do some education. You don't necessarily have to go to film school. People like my mom are great resources. So Sally Forcier Casting and Productions, I'm sure there'll be a link or something to that.
Yes, we will link that.
Because not only is she a casting director and producer, but she is a coach. And she offers consultations where she can help point you in the right direction so you're aware of what you're getting yourself into before you get yourself into it and spend a bunch of money and do things the wrong way and then feel defeated when it doesn't work out. Talk to people in the industry, shadow, maybe get on a set and work as a production assistant and PA just to see if you do like it first before diving in, because it is a huge commitment. There's a lot of time, money, and energy that goes into it. And, again, we don't want to waste our precious time. So.
Yes. Especially the older we get, we don't. We're like, wait a minute.
Right.
Yeah, right. I feel you there, because that's how I'm in with a lot of stuff. I'm starting to learn where to focus energy.
Right.
Because, wasting time, which I know a lot of us feel that way, that especially people that don't find what they are meant to do early on.
Right.
You feel like, wow, I wasted my 20s.
And getting to know yourself
Yeah.
will eliminate that waste of time. Those circumstances you're just saying were probably only because you didn't really know who you were.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
you're just
absolutely.
trying random shit and seeing what sticks.
Absolutely.
But take the time to be alone. Take the time to figure out where everything that you are stems from, so you can let go, forgive, release, and hold on to, the things that you want to be.
Yeah.
And then you'd be amazed at what comes to you, right? If you're not in an open space because there's other shit going on, now's not the right time. But when it is the right time, it will just come to you so naturally. I fully believe that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to end it there. So, Miranda, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Miranda Forcier. Just search my name and everything will pop up. If you have any questions or need any advice, I would love to help you. I'm happy to offer some free time. If you're looking for any help on your next project, I'm also would love to help you as well. And you can follow my journeys there.
There it is. And you guys, go follow the Might Delete Later podcast with Derrick and Anna, because our social media is embarrassing. We've only got like 200 people on Instagram, and then we're on TikTok as well, but I don't hang out there that often. Yeah. So please go and follow us there. Please help us, because when we try to get, these guests and we're trying to come up, we've got this superstar here today, but we're trying to get guests. I can talk to anybody, okay? So we need to get more guests, and the first thing guests do when I reach out to them, they look at how many followers we have, and that's you guys' fault. So
what I would recommend is, if anything was said in any podcast you watch of Derrick's, that you think someone in your circle can relate to, tag them, right? Make sure send it to them. That's the best way to get this man's hard work seen and noticed. And if you love this and you understand the value that this podcast brings.
There it is. And it's settled. All right? We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Bye.